Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of Trini Point of View. And today I'm joined by one of my longtime friends and a very talented Gopaul-Silochan.
Hi everyone, I'm Diana Gopaul-Silochan. You just have to put that in. A lot of people miss it out, like to me. Tim and I go way back and we have a lot in common, playing cards, playing cricket, holding down. So we decided this would be a good opportunity for us to reunite a little bit, reconnect, and of course a lot of things we have in common, so this is one.
Alright, so for today's review, we're going to be doing one of the probably most popular and probably most spoiled movies there is right now in theatre, which is Avengers Infinity War. Now, everybody is talking about it, and everybody is either trying to avoid spoilers or everybody is looking for the spoilers. But today, we're going to do a spoiler review. So, no matter what you think about the movie, know that this is going to be a spoiler review. And if you know that you don't want it to be spoiled, probably you could save the video and come back again in a week, but we're going to be diving heavily into spoilers. Now for me, I really enjoyed Avengers Infinity War. It brought probably 18 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe full circle, and no matter how many trailers they showed us, it caught me off guard. The movie is very emotional, it's very well shot, it's very well paced, and to me this is going to be probably one of the best movies of all times. Not only in this genre, because it fell into the genre of drama, it has that comic book genre, it has that action movie genre, it is an all-around, I don't want to use the word perfect, but it seems like the best word that I could use. So without wasting too much time, let's get directly into it. So Diana, what did you think about Avengers Infinity War? What stuck out to you the most?
I think mainly the character of Thanos. Like, I was expecting him to be a ruthless, don't care, because you know the other villains before, that's how they were.
Right.
And this is Infinity War, so I was expecting somebody really, really horrible.
Yeah, somebody just out to destroy the
Right,
universe.
exactly. But it was well played, you know, giving him that human aspect of emotion and him thinking what he's doing is the best for the universe. So he
Right.
was like the Avengers, but for another side.
Right.
And I think that was what stood out to me the most, his character.
I think the movie was more of a Thanos Infinity War movie or Avengers Infinity War movie?
That's a good question. I think it was a balance. And I think they used this Infinity War Part 1 to kind of give you the story of Thanos, really.
Right.
And to let you know this is who he is, the build up before, this is what he you know, this is who he is now. It's not just somebody seeing out of space and somebody that face. They actually went into his character, there were emotions involved.
Right.
And I love that about him. And like you and I were talking before, there were people rooting for Thanos because, I mean, my husband being one, you know, there was a point in time that you were like, I hope nothing bad happens to him, you know, I hope they could sit on a table and resolve this.
Yeah, because halfway through the movie I started to like his character.
Right, and think about if he were to ever be a part of the Avengers. Hey, that would be a force.
You're destroying the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe in one statement.
But what scared me the most at the beginning of the movie, there's this line everybody uses. You have this, you have that, we have a Hulk.
Right.
Should we get into that now?
Yeah, you get straight into it.
When Loki said it to Thanos, he had one stone. When he said it to Thanos, he was not even powerful.
Right.
Right? As powerful as he was when he
Coming up to
collected
the
all six
Right.
stones. So when Loki said, well, you have all this, we have a Hulk. And you see Hulk just jumped onto Thanos in this battle, and Thanos make Hulk look like
nothing.
like you.
Yeah.
That's what Hulk looked like. And for the rest of the movie, there was no Hulk. There was Banner.
Right.
But Hulk refused. Hulk was afraid to come out to face anything that Thanos was sending. You see, I asked about should we get into Hulk?
Let me save the Hulk part for later on.
Okay.
Right. But so now that you've seen the movie and you understand what Thanos and his actual endgame was, what were you expecting from Thanos? Because the name of the movie is Avengers Infinity War. But what were you expecting from Thanos himself?
I was expecting that whole scenario with him and Gamora. I was not expecting that at all.
Right.
I expected him to be ruthless.
Right.
Worse than
That's the
the
same what I
other.
had in my mind. with
Right.
Ruthless.
I expected him to be worse than the other villains. And I expected him not to have any emotion, no attachments, just killing people like crazy, just
Right.
destroying.
Right.
I just saw him as a huge destructor.
Right.
That's what I saw him as
You
at
nev-
first before seeing the movie.
Right. You never had an idea that he was going to, from the trailers that is, and what you would know from the marketing, you never expected him to have a bigger plan. That even though, yes, he wants to destroy half the universe, he wants to save the other half.
Right, no. I was clueless.
Right.
I was clueless when it came to that because there was no inkling of that at all. There was just the fact that he was coming to Earth to destroy and to take what he needed, the stones.
Right. So apart from Thanos, what other characters stood out to you? Because I mean, we had a lot of good on-screen chemistry. We had Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, that trio. There was Drax and Mantis. We had Peter Quill and Tony Stark. We had Captain America with his I am Steve Rogers versus I am Groot. We had so many different, we had Thor and Rocket. Which one of those, or which one did I not mention that stood out to you the most? It is difficult because there's so many characters to think about.
I loved, okay, so I didn't appreciate too much of the humor in Thor Ragnarok because
Right.
it took away from the, it was wicked. I left, laughing about the jokes in Thor. So I think his humor in this one was just enough. So not too much his character, but maybe things that happened in between.
Right.
I like how he called Groot, this is tree. And
Right.
he refused to, remember his name.
Yeah.
But
He was still this bulk-headed person who thinks he's the strongest person in the universe.
right, and Groot kind of surprised me when he, was playing this video game all the time, and
Yeah.
he was being a typical teenager.
Yeah.
He was being rebellious throughout the entire movie, and when it came time for him to step up and talk about the axe,
Right.
and he held on and he made the handle for the. I thought
Right.
for the handle for the axe that was amazing.
Right.
That he would
He
step
would
up.
self-sacrifice part
Yes,
of himself.
and go through that sacrifice, being the rebellious teenager that they portrayed him to be. I think that surprised me. Not
Right.
so much stand out, but it surprised me, and I like that.
It was unexpected.
Yes,
It
I
was
like that.
unexpected.
And he was able to use. What was his hammer? His name was always.
Stormbreaker.
I was always called his hammer.
Mjolnir.
Nim nim.
Yeah.
Nim nim. Right.
Right.
So now he has a new form of equipment or
Yeah, and his
something
hammer
he can
always
use.
had that iconic handle. You could actually see it was wrapped in leather or whatever they use in Asgard.
Right, yeah.
And you expected Stormbreaker to have like that special handle.
Correct.
So you didn't expect
To look like a
Groot
branch.
Yeah, to break off part of his arm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, that's true. And that's what stood out to me. Maybe not as his character so much, but how it happened.
Right. And it also shows you that Groot wasn't just there for being their sake, playing this video game. He was paying attention to what's going on. And when they needed him the most, he sacrificed part of himself.
Yes.
And we just lost Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is a new Groot coming up. So when he broke off his arm, I was asking myself, like, wait, are we going to lose another Groot so quick?
Right. Yes, because it seemed like he was going to sacrifice his life for his son arm.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I
And
saw that.
going back to Thanos and the chemistry he had with Gamora, what did you think of that? Because I was totally surprised with it. That was one of probably the most compelling parts
I totally agree.
of Infinity War.
I totally agree. And what I could understand her hate for him, but she was torn between worlds because she
Yeah.
grew up with him. So there was a part of her that loved him.
Yeah.
At the beginning when she stabbed him and she thought she did the job.
You saw her when she was crying.
She cried. It was almost as though she regretted what she did.
Yeah.
But she had to for the better of,
The universe.
the universe.
And also when he was torturing Nebula and she came to him, because he's so big, she came to him and you could see her holding on his arms begging, like a little child would beg for a snack.
Yes.
And you saw it like, this is still your father because you're begging for his mercy, for his emotion. You want him to feel for you and your sister, which is Nebula.
Yes, I saw that. She knew as well that there were things that she could get from him. Just like every father-daughter relationship.
She knew she can manipulate him.
Right, you know how if you want something, you go by mommy, she says no, you go by daddy. He always says yes, right? So in a way, she was playing with his emotion. But when it came down to her end of that storyline, she judged him for hating.
Right.
She judged him. She said, you never loved a thing in the world, which would include her. And she just had him totally wrong.
Right.
So her feelings towards him, the hate aspect of it, he never had that for her.
Right. She thought he had it.
She thought it was, but the love that she had for him as well, he felt more for her. And that was displayed well.
Yeah, because when he got to the point of getting Soul Stone, you could actually see how Anthony and Joe Russo used the camera angles where they focus on her laughing and his back was turned, because she was just laughing at his back. She wasn't laughing at his face. She had no idea what was building in his mind, and that tears were actually coming out of his face. So when he turned around, you saw that he was crying. That was actually a shock for me. I didn't expect that level of emotion.
I think it shocked her twice because she was like, whoa, you actually care for me.
Yeah.
Whoa, are you going to kill me now? You know, I'm dead.
Because it was unsaid. He didn't say anything. From the moment he turned around, she understood.
She knew this was the end of my life, and she realized that, ironically, that was the moment she realized that he loved her, yet he had to kill her.
He had to sacrifice her.
That was mind-blowing for me.
I think that was probably the second most powerful Bettany movie. We'll get into the first one later on, but that one hit me probably the hardest, because I sat there and after the scene finished, I realized like my hands were clenched. I was like, wait, did this just happen? Because I wasn't just feeling it for the loss of Gamora, I got into the character of Thanos. I started to feel for him, and that's when I started to like him more as a character.
Right? You just couldn't help but like him after a while.
Other than the main characters, what did you think of the Black Order that came along with Thanos? Because I really liked Proxima Midnight, her aesthetics. How they used her was probably underpowered, but I really liked the look of her. And yet I saw little glimpses of the CGI within her portrayal, but it was still a good effort, and probably the best one out of all was Ebony Moore. And how they use his powers versus Doctor Strange, I think was unexpected, because I'm a DC fanboy, so I don't know much about Marvel. So the Black Order is probably lack of a better word, taboo to me, because I wouldn't go that deep into Marvel. So when I actually saw them in the trailers, I was looking for the Funko Pops for them because I find they look real good. And then now to come and see Ebony Moore being this powerful that he could capture Doctor Strange, that was a surprise to me. Which one of those characters stood out to you?
Well, unlike you, I didn't get to see it twice, right? I saw it once.
Twice on the opening day.
Right.
I
didn't get to appreciate the aesthetics of you know, what they looked like, because I was still in awe of their power.
But one of the things I have to let you know is I saw it once in IMAX 3D, and I saw it in 2D in the afternoon. And the 2D was a lot better than the IMAX 3D. I enjoyed the 3D aspect of it, but the 2D, it was a lot clearer and everything seemed more cinematic.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't. Probably next time I'll see 3D, because I saw it 2D.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
Right.
I can't compare it, but you're right. I always have problems with 3D, and I never find things look clear.
Yeah. And
I always go for 2D.
When you put on the 3D glasses, it always looks darker also. Opposed to 2D.
And then I have a baby face, so I use the children one, and I still don't think it does any justice. Anyway, getting back to that. So, Doctor Strange is supposed to be this really powerful dude.
Yeah, he wields Infinity Stone.
Right, you know, you could go in a hole anyway, anytime, because Doctor Strange could, you know, make you disappear into some universe that you could get easily lost.
Yeah, he could reverse and make you a baby. I mean,
this dude was just clicking finger and just barely moving his fingers, and things were dying, and buildings were crumbling, and I got scared.
Yeah.
And it made me think, because they went first.
Right.
Before Thanos came.
Right.
And I
He
got
sent them. Those were
scared.
his henchmen.
I got scared. If they can do that,
Yeah.
what can he do?
What can Thanos do?
Worse yet, with the Six Stones.
Right.
So I started to get a little panicky around
Yeah.
then when I saw
What do you
it.
think about Ebony Moore's speeches when he actually appeared? Like when he destroyed Asgard and he actually walked on, he was giving his long speech, and then when he came to Earth, he tried it with Tony Stark, and Tony was like,
Earth is
Earth
closed.
is closed.
Earth is closed. You know, we're not welcoming
Yeah.
any aliens today.
And Ebony Moore was like, he asked Doctor Strange, does this human speak for you? And just, I really enjoyed those speeches.
What about when Tony called him Squidward?
Yeah.
I think we're giving away too much of the humor. But the entire, now remember the people that go in, they have children as well, so they're taking
Yeah.
their children. So this means everybody watches SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Everybody watches SpongeBob. That makes sense because they have their children there, and it made me realize SquarePants is a big hit too.
Yeah. So other than the main characters, Thanos, and the main Avengers, because there was Black Panther, we didn't even get into Black Panther,
Oh my God, yes.
Okoye, there are a lot of other Scarlet, which we didn't mention. What other characters that could be, let's say, minor in this Avengers Infinity War, which were minor characters, stood out to you? And not just stood out to you by acting, but like the way they were used as a plot device. I mean, I know some people don't like to say some characters are plot devices, but how did they use, let me say, Wong when they were fighting Ebony Moore with Doctor Strange? How did those minor characters, which one stood out to you?
Winston Duke. No, no Winston. But you know, props to Winston. Which one stood out more, boy? I think you're asking me hard questions here, you know.
Because it was Okoye. Okoye had a
this
good
is
moment when Scarlet Witch
Avengers.
came down,
Right.
and she was like, well, what was she doing up there all along?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, and she made sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't just funny. It
Yeah.
made sense.
It made sense because she was so powerful.
You were so
that-
powerful, but they kept her there because she was so powerful to protect,
Vision. Yeah.
But she would have been a great asset on the
On the
battlefield
field.
as well.
Right.
So I think they underused her,
Witch.
Scarlet, a
Yeah,
bit.
I think so too.
I think they made her look weak too. So I think her character stood out in the sense that she wasn't used as she should have been,
Mm-hmm.
because in the other Avengers she was so powerful.
Right.
And the first one, she kind of brought havoc to their minds, and she
Right.
made them. So she could have used that here,
Because
and made them see other things when it wasn't there. And I just find
Mhm.
that they underused her.
yeah, because if in the movie they're implying, not implying, but they're letting you know that she could destroy Infinity Stone. I mean, she's probably one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe at this
Right.
point, until we reach further on.
Right.
And as you said in Age of Ultron, where she used like those mind tricks on them, I mean, she could have flown through and figured out a way. She could have used somebody's powers to get to Thanos, touch him, let him see something else.
Right.
She could have done different things
Very
earlier on. So I agree that she was underused.
Perhaps is a hype
Mm-hmm.
for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give them the advantage here. Let's just
Yeah.
say probably that's what they're doing.
If they bring her back.
Right. But let's see what happens. I think I will answer that question even better after part
Yeah.
2.
And I enjoyed Wong's performance in the beginning with the battle with Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Spider-Man, where he made his circle and he was
Right.
like, you know what, the Sanctum, nobody's there to protect the Sanctum, so he has to go back. And yes, he was in the movie for a very short period, but they took the time to give you a proper explanation for where he was during this big battle. Because you
Right.
would wonder, like, well, why isn't
Could use
Wong
him
here?
too, right?
Because Wong has similar powers to Doctor
Right,
Strange.
so it would have made sense for him to exist in the battlefield as well.
Yeah, but they
Um,
explained it like he has a purpose. He has to be at the Sanctum because if he's not there, you don't know who could attack the Sanctum at the same time.
And I think that they made like a conscious decision to make
Mhm.
sure that Doctor Strange was not on the battlefield,
Mm,
because I think that they would have actually win
yeah,
if he was in outer space
right,
because of his powers,
right,
because of the time stone as well.
yeah. And now that you mentioned him being out of space, what did you think of the battle with Tony Stark, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Thanos, Mantis? I know there's a sore point for everyone.
That whole Infinity War happening up there opposed
Right.
to on Earth. It was magnificent. I mean,
Right.
Thanos threw a moon
Yeah.
at Iron Man,
Iron
and he
Man.
was like, please don't get me upset, you know, like,
Yeah.
don't be throwing moons at me, I'd be upset. But I thought that was the end of him.
Me
After
too.
a moon fall on you, like, why are you guessing
Because
up?
in the trailers, you hear Thanos saying, you know what, he's going to destroy half of Earth, but half of the people who's left, they're going to remember you.
Right.
So I thought those things played well into it. And when I saw the moon coming, I thought that was the end of Tony Stark, because the hype coming into this was somebody's going to die.
Yes.
So I really thought that was the end of Tony Stark at that point.
Me too, because
Yeah.
at the beginning,
Mhm.
someone
Someone has to go, and Doctor Strange told him in the beginning, if I have to choose, I'm going to have to choose the time stone. It's too valuable.
Yeah.
And I have to sacrifice you or the kid being Spider-Man. I'm going to have to sacrifice both of you all.
I need to save the time stone.
Yeah, and
No
I really
question
expected that. And it's like, I expected, on one hand, I expected like the bait and switch, where I know he would save, but he would save them. But I knew that the directors, they could shock you, and they were like, you know what, they're expecting us to save them. But the hell with them, let's just kill him here and let's see what's going to happen. Because we're done killing so many people.
Yeah.
Let's kill him now and let's see what will happen. So there were so many deaths in Avengers Infinity War. And we started off straight into it within like the first couple of minutes of the movie. It's no spoiler, like 3/4 of Asgard is dead. But one character in
Dude, 99% of us guys dead.
no, they actually said, because we didn't even get into Valkyrie, Korg, which was from Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
They weren't there. They aren't dead. So what the director says, that escape pods went out. So part of Asgard did escape,
Oh, we didn't show
and
that.
we didn't see Valkyrie
We just
or
saw,
Korg.
yeah, we just saw Thor, Loki, and
Yeah.
Idris Elba is ready to die.
Yeah.
Wow.
So along with Loki, a lot of the Avengers died in the end. I mean, spoilers for
A lot
who
of
they
the
know is a
Avengers died.
spoiler territory. So along with that, one of the probably most impactful was Spider-Man for me,
Right.
because coming from Homecoming and even before that Civil War, we know that Tony Stark took in Peter Parker
Yes.
and he brought him in, so he's like a father figure.
Right.
And even in Infinity War, he anointed him on his shoulder, like, you're now an Avenger.
Oh, come on. That was a fake anointment.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're now an
It was a bit cheesy, but you saw it in Peter's face after when he stood up and he brought his shoulders like, yes, I'm finally
It's
there.
happened. It's happened. Oh my god.
Yeah. So when it was his turn now to kick the bucket at the end,
Yeah.
he actually held on to it, and you could hear him saying he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to go, and you
And him
saw
being
it
the
in Tony's
youngest,
face.
Tony was trembling, like
Yeah,
he can't,
because-
like, and there's nothing he could do. Iron Man usually knows what to do to save
Yeah.
somebody. He couldn't do anything.
Exactly, and Tony understands that I'm the one responsible for bringing him here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me, he would have never been this version of Spider-Man. He would still be the friendly neighborhood spider back in New York. So Spider-Man understands.
But that doesn't guarantee he would have been alive still.
True, because I mean
how the
everybody's
universe going, right?
correct. But that death, I think, hit me the hardest.
Yeah.
Seeing Spider-Man as a kid.
It really pulled at your emotional,
Yeah.
all your emotion strings. It did.
So on one hand we had the Thanos Gamora, where he had to sacrifice Gamora, and on the other hand I had Spider-Man and Iron Man, where Iron Man was losing Peter Parker. And those two, I think, were the two toughest pills for me to swallow when it
Right.
comes to character losses.
You're right. Because when you saw the other Avengers dying, there was no emotion attached to I'm dying. You just saw
Right.
them disappearing. You know,
Right.
it was happening and they just
Yeah.
started disappearing.
Drax was pretty good too. Well, good in a bad way, because you hear him, Drax is not one, Drax is the Destroyer, is his name, and you hear him always talking about he could fight anybody, and when he was disappearing, he was like Quill, and he was calling on Peter, Star-Lord,
Right.
and you don't get that from Drax, and that was when the moment hit me like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
How many characters are we going to lose? Because, yeah, and I forgot his name, Dave Bautista, who plays Drax. I mean, he's not the best actor, but he plays Drax so perfectly, being a klutz and just giving you these lines. And when you hear him saying Quill, that is when I understood how serious this movie is
That was
going
in
to be.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
Chris Pratt.
that is Star-Lord.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were too many to keep up with. Like
Yeah.
everybody all in one. Oh my god! But you're right. Spider-Man lost his loss was really heart-wrenching a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think out of all, he was the most...
Well, he was a baby too, right? I was like, oh,
Exactly.
I
How
want to die.
old is he? I think he's still like
A teenager.
16 or something.
He's a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was this other character.
A bad guy, a good guy.
I forgot.
You forgot he was a bad guy.
It jumped out of my mind. It jumped out of my mind. Black Panther.
Oh,
So we
you forget Black Panther. Oh my god. How could you forget Black Panther?
So we lost Black Panther, but the thing is, I know we're not going to lose Black Panther or Peter Parker because they have movies
They
coming
have
out.
another one coming out, right?
Yeah, and it's such a hit now.
But I'd like to see what they do to bring them back. I was thinking that they're probably going to predate it. So before Avengers.
No, I don't think so.
3 years before, maybe.
Well, that brings me to my last point. What are our predictions for Avengers 4? Because a lot of people are speculating the name Doctor Strange at one point when he gave up his stone. He told Tony Stark we're in the Endgame now. Some people are saying Endgame, so it's going to be Avengers Endgame. Some people are saying it's going to be Infinity Gauntlet.
So what about Infinity War Part 2? Whatever happened to that? That's
got
not
rid of
going
that.
with.
They got rid of that on the whole.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So, what are your predictions coming into Avengers Infinity War, which is a year away? I mean, usually by now you would start to see stills from production. Marvel said they're pulling out of San Diego Comic-Con, which is a big move. That's when they usually release all their footage, all their behind the scenes, but they're so confident in themselves now. They're like, the hell with San Diego Comic-Con. We know we have you. We don't even need to show you anything anymore.
Right.
We're confident that no matter, we cannot give you a trailer for Avengers Infinity War. We know you're coming to see Avengers Infinity War.
We know you're coming because you left us with question marks. Duh, one question answered. So yeah, I think I thought about it, to be honest, because at the end of the movie, like I said, there was so many question marks. Like, what just happened?
Right.
Okay, everybody's disappearing because there's bringing balance to the universe.
Right.
How is Avengers going to continue if there is like 4 Avengers remaining?
Right. The core Avengers from part 1.
How is that going to work?
Right.
And then you saw Thanos in the middle of somewhere out of space, nowhere. He's not wearing the glove anymore.
Right. And also when he snapped his fingers to destroy half the universe, you saw the glove partially destroyed.
Yeah.
It looked like it was passed through fire, it was scorched. So what happens now?
And Thanos in the middle of nowhere looking on, numb.
Yeah.
So he wasn't smiling, he was like, ha ha, I win.
Yeah. He shook his head slowly like, I did what I was supposed to do.
But there was
was
emptiness.
Was it the right thing to do?
Was it worth it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So if he doesn't know, how would we know, right?
Yeah.
So we're just there with all these question marks. So I really want my questions answered.
Right.
Like, how are you going to move on to another movie without anything?
Yeah.
How are you going to build that from the ground, come up? That means that the time stone is going to have to play a huge part in this. Because you're going to have to, go back in time for this not to happen.
Right, because we're seeing stills, as we talked about before we started the film, we're seeing stills of production of part 4, and you see Ant-Man in the Battle of New York, you see Captain America in his old Captain America suit,
right?
And he's getting all these flavor from like 6 years ago. So is it that they're going to reverse time so much? Who's going to reverse time? And then we even forgot to mention Tyrion.
Who's that?
From Game of Thrones. He was the dwarf who made the hammer.
Oh my god, well, he was a giant.
A giant
technically,
dwarf.
yeah. He was a giant, yes.
That was such a surprise. I didn't expect that.
And I was looking at him, my husband, I was telling him, because you don't want to disturb anybody during this very tense moment.
So you're trying to nudge him like...
Yes,
yeah.
yes. The short man, he's a midget. Because I didn't remember his name, clearly I didn't remember his name. But yeah, that was a nice guest appearance.
And he had a mold for another gauntlet. So does that come into play? Because they could always probably think about molding another gauntlet, probably Thor or one that could go back.
But like you said, half of it was destroyed, so how does the other stones play a part in this as well? The time stone is the only thing that could save us now. The time stone is the only thing that could save us now.
But who's going to wield it? That's the question. So I know we're all going to build up, but do we lose if you had to choose between the remaining Avengers, which is the original cast, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Thor, if you had to choose one of them to wield the gauntlet,
It would have to be Thor.
Thor.
Because
But the thing is, for you to wield the gauntlet, from what I understand, and from what the movie said, you have to give a soul. So you have to self-sacrifice, so you're going to have to sacrifice someone that you love. Who would you give up? Not who you want to wear, but who would you give up in this universe?
In this case, can Hulk give a banner? I mean,
No cheating, no cheating.
I know it can work. Hulk can give a banner. I mean, that's possible because he shares that. I can't see anybody share.
But I don't think that would be enough of an emotional loss for the audience. So I'm thinking
losing banner isn't enough. What's wrong with you?
I'm thinking probably Tony Stark or one of them might have to give up something because
Pepper? You think he'll give up Pepper?
I doubt, because after they talk about the pregnancy part in the beginning,
so I think give up the life of a baby.
But
she confirmed.
You were killing off people. Now you're gonna kill off babies.
You asked me my prediction. I don't. Okay, so Banner is alive too, you know.
So I think maybe Tony, because as we know,
Captain
America. No, but also their contracts. Captain America, he said he wanted to go behind the camera for a while. Maybe that's his way of going behind the camera, self-sacrificing. Tony, his contract is coming up.
Captain America?
Yeah, Steve Rogers.
Chris Evans, if you're not going to be in Infinity War Part 2, I'm not going to know. Chris Evans, you better be there.
He will be there, but maybe he's the one to bite the dust. So we'll see.
Because he's a true hero. He's a true hero, that's why.
Alright, so let's see if we can rate this movie out of 10. Let's wrap it up with your rating. If you had to rate it out of 10.
Because I was left with so much question marks, I hate a movie like that. I like to, when they go on and married and have children and children, I like movies like that.
Right.
So because I was left with so many things unanswered, I'd give it a 9. If things were answered, I would have given it a 10.
Right.
But I'd give it a 9 because I was left hanging. And I don't like that. After a year, I hate to be in suspense.
But if it was still named Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, and you knew it had a continuation, would you have given it a 10?
Yeah, but there was still Part 1. This is still the end of one
because
part
of that
the
year break.
Yeah, I don't want to be in suspense.
You strike them off one point.
Plus, I can't. I hate to be in suspense. I need to know, okay?
Well, I'm giving it a 10. I was satisfied with it.
Okay.
Yet it hurt to see so many characters dying and biting the dust literally.
Did you almost cry?
Yeah, for Spider-Man. Spider-Man hit me. Nah, I was trying to stay still and breathe through my mouth, but then I heard everybody sniffling, so I was like, well, if they can sniffle, I sniffle too.
Well, next one you might probably want to walk with your little tissue in case.
Yeah.
Because I saw a little clip, you know what they do, these little clips?
Mm-hmm.
And there was this guy, this boss, giving them a tour. And, no, I don't mean a tour, I mean a tour around LA. And it was the Avengers cast, the main cast, going to a tour. And he said, did anyone die in Part 2? And everybody just looked at each other. I didn't know if they didn't want to sell it out, or somebody did die and they couldn't say. Yeah. Because, you know, they sign a contract.
Yeah, right?
So I don't know.
It's like you give away something, we take $10 million.
So I walk in with some tissues. You never know. You just never know. If so many died this time, you just never know.
Right.
Time stone, we're depending on you. Chris Evans, be there.
Alright guys, I'm checking out another installment of Trini Point of View. I want to thank Diana for guest appearing today and giving us an insight on what you thought about Infinity War. And you want to wrap up with anything? Any last thoughts on Infinity War?
Yes. Chris Pratt.
I know you're going to say you want to kill Chris Pratt.
You couldn't wait 5 seconds for them to get the glove. I mean, so many things. Anyway, we would not have been apart.
And Thanos had it. It was just like on his fingertips.
Iron Man had it.
Iron
Man had it. He and Spider-Man, they had it.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, what are you doing?
Well, we know we're going to fix it.
Time stone.
Alright guys, so thanks again for checking out another installment of Trini Point of View. Remember to hit me a thumbs up. Comment down below on your thoughts on Avengers Infinity War and what you think is going to happen in Avengers 4. You can even let us know what you think the title is going to be. Is it Avengers Endgame? Is it Avengers Infinity Gauntlet? Is it Avengers Let's Kill More People? And as usual, see you again.
I'm begging you. Wait, can you turn around? Can you turn around? Just wait. Can we work this out? Can we work this out?
Bye. Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom.